Today is the feast day of Saint Sebastian. He is very famous today because he is the patron saint of athletes. And if there's one thing that we love a lot in our modern culture, it's our sports. A lot of times when young people come up for the feast days of confirmation and they pick a saint, well, they'll sometimes pick Saint Sebastian because they think, "Well, I'm an athlete, I love sports, and he's the patron saint of athletes. So we have something in common." That's a great thing to do. Saint Sebastian, though, was not one who played sports. Rather, he competed not on the sporting field, but on the battlefield. He was a Roman soldier and a pretty good one, we're told. So he was really proficient, like today's athletes are. But he fought real battles. But in addition to the field of battle, he also fought on the field of, well, the faith. He fought for souls. Because while he was a Roman soldier, he was also secretly a Christian, fighting to convert people to Christianity. Well, eventually this got found out and got him in some trouble with the Roman emperor, who was very anti Christian. Diocletian is the name of this emperor. And when he found out that one of his famous soldiers, Sebastian, was a Christian, well, he didn't change his mind and think, maybe I should like these Christians. No, he ordered that Saint Sebastian should be shot full of arrows until dead. In art today, if you see Saint Sebastian, he is famously depicted tied to a stake and shot full of arrows. Well, this also puts him in the category of saints that I call the "I'm not dead yet" saints. Because, yeah, Saint Sebastian got shot full of arrows until dead, except he wasn't dead yet. In fact, miraculously, he survives. Now, if I had just been shot full of arrows for, being Christian to the emperor, I would probably say, well, the emperor is probably not up for conversion. I'll just leave that alone. Saint Sebastian does not do that. In fact, he doesn't try to hide or anything. He actually goes back to the emperor, says, "Hey, Diocletian, it's me, Sebastian. Remember, you killed me by shooting me full of arrows? I'm not dead yet. And here's a few things you should know. Killing Christians is a bad idea. It's going to get you in trouble with God. You should change your ways. In fact, you should convert and be Christian too." Wow, what an incredible witness. For that, Sebastian gets killed again. Hmm. And this time it apparently works. He gets beaten to death and he stays dead, at least as far as this world is concerned. But he lives forever in heaven. And for that, he gets the special title martyr, which means witness. In this case, someone who witnessed by witnessing to Christ even to the shedding of their blood and dying. Saint Sebastian competed well for the faith. And that's why he's most famous as this patron saint of athletes. Because when we look to our modern world, well, one of the ways that we like to compete and have competitions is not on the field of warfare, where there is life and death at stake, but in the more peaceful field of the soccer pitch, or the baseball field, or the football field. Here, though, I like sports because, well, there really is normally a fierce competition for a winner and a loser. No one has to die, but there's a winner and a loser. And you want to be the winner. St. Paul tells us that he loves sports, and he says it's like a race where everyone's competing, but there's only one winner. So, and when it comes to faith, you should run so as to win. You should want to win. And I like that about sports. When I was growing up, sometimes I got participation trophies for like playing T-ball or something. I threw those trophies out. No one wants a participation trophy. We want to win. So that's a good thing about sports. The other thing I like about sports is, well, if you're gonna win, then you got to work at it. You got to work hard. You got to train. You got to discipline yourself. You got to exercise. You got to eat right. You got to study the tactics. You got to practice. Here's the thing, though. If we do all that for the games that we call sports today, what about our faith? Saint Sebastian was willing to die for the faith. Do we think somehow that heaven is just going to be like handed to us like a participation trophy? No, I got rid of my participation trophies. My state championship medals, those I kept. Because if you have to work for it, it's worthwhile. And that's our faith. You don't just get to heaven automatically. You got to really be willing to put God first, to sacrifice for it the way we would sacrifice to be a good athlete. So maybe it's not so bad today that we celebrate a patron saint of athletes. The wide, wide world of sports has a lot to offer us. But what's really going on here in the wide, wide world of sports? Well, it's a little bit of what really matters. The idea that we're competing for a crown that doesn't perish, the crown of victory in heaven. That's what Saint Sebastian ultimately won. So today, we're grateful that he's our patron. But let's also remember the saints in heaven show us an example of how we should live our lives. And most especially, Saint Sebastian put God first. So let's do that today, even as we go out and compete in the daily battle that hopefully will win us the crown of heaven. Saint Sebastian, pray for us, and God bless you.